My name is Ryan Milliken and I'm powered by science. Test and tune's over, so we're going racing. The Battle of the Thrones race was supposed to be this spring, I believe, in Orlando. It got rained out or didn't happen for whatever reason. So they stacked it on top of this race. So we've got Battle of the Thrones race and then 0 days off and then right into No Mercy. Battle of the Thrones went really good. It was a struggle to get going. The track was, I don't want to say bad, but we couldn't get a hold of it. We struggled a little bit. Finally on the last chance qualifier, literally the last chance we had to make it happen, we went #1. I don't remember the exact time slip. It was like 500 passes ago. 416 at 179, I think. If I remember right, we went 107, 60 foot. The car went nice and straight. Did a little bit of a power wheelie, but it was manageable. 278 through the middle and 416 out the back, which is right where we need to be. And we ended up #1 qualifier. Got us a first round bye. The next round eliminations was in the sun. I struggled, but so did the other guy. Second round, we had that Jeep Cherokee, the SRT8 Cherokee with a Hemi in it. So it was a Nova with a Cummins, a Jeep with a Hemi in it, and we both spun. The sun was, right at high noon, hot track conditions. I spun and immediately tried to recover and didn't see him driving off, so I whacked it again and spun again. So I let off and let the tires get all the way hooked to the track and then stood back in it, and when it came up on the pipe again, it spun out there again, so I had to whack the pedal again. And now my timers and all that stuff are all messed up, so I just was riding the car like a dirt bike down the track, just beating on the shifter trying to get it in third. I ended up going through the stripe at almost 7,000 RPM in second gear, and we trapped like 158. And that guy trapped like 136. He was having issues of his own over there, but he said about half track he could hear me coming, and he couldn't wind it up enough to get away from me. And then we raced we went all the way to the finals. So ended up with this cool trophy that Doug hands out. So it's pretty cool. Ended up against Shane Moses in the finals, small block nitrous car. Those boys are really fast. I had no choice but to leave the boom tune in, and we wheelied and spun and slammed it down and sparks everywhere, but we tried. We tried really hard. So this is our first trip to the finals, so it's a major feat for us. But the last race we were at, I made the mistake of underestimating my opponent. So I went up with a 422 tune-up in it, expecting to run 422 and that'd be plenty, but I as the driver didn't do my job. I went 105 on the tree, and then that 422 wasn't fast enough. So first round duck at Yellow Bullet running a 422, which 2 years ago would have been a world record pass. And now a 422, if you're not on the tree, these boys will send you home. I didn't want to underestimate Shane Moses, and I knew he was coming out in the finals with that small block nitrous car swinging for the fences. So we swung for the fences, and I turned the car up hotter than it's ever been turned up. We thought we had a tune-up for the chassis to take that. I guess we didn't, because the wheelies came back and that got us. But what really got us is the pass before, we had been fighting wheelies all weekend. So when the car wheelies, it torque steers and drives to the left. And if I don't get the front end sat back on the ground before I run on a racetrack, it'll drive me off the track. So two passes before I pedaled and had to get the car back on the track. Well, this time we decided we didn't have enough time between rounds to make a chassis change. So we decided to just point the car right, just a little bit, to just give me a little more room to make that, sweeping turn on the racetrack. Where we screwed up was we pulled up to the start line nice and straight, and right at the very end, like 2 foot from the start line stripe, we made a big change and pointed the nose of the car to the right. Our best guess is that we put, we preloaded the rear end, the axles, tires, and all that stuff. So when we let go of the button, the first thing the car did was wiggle the nose over, and then it was upset after that, drove into a power wheelie and spun and all sorts of stuff. So
You're gonna take your helmet helmet off and shit. It's gonna be a while. They said.
Well, I can't. I gotta start all over again. I can't stop in the middle of my process and take my helmet off. I have to get all the way out of the car, or it's not right. You know?
Yes, sir.
Cool. It fucks my
process.
My process.
Yeah, do it exactly the way you want it. Nobody can rush us anymore because they said.
What am I saying? Yeah, it was in hell.
I don't think anyone can touch it. 16.3. Yeah. Nobody went that fast. Race prior, right?
No, we're still the fastest car here. I don't know what Kenny broke, but they had to do a big oil cleanup. White Rice bumped through like.
Cars are hurt. I said no mercy is going to be a race of attrition.
Yeah.
I'd preferably not touch the car till E1.
I'd like to make
If
another
you want to make a
swing
change,
later,
I'll go
but-
up and do a no lockup 60-foot hit just to make sure it goes. I mean, do we need to change anything? I just went 416 in the range. Like when I looked up at the boards, I was looking through range. I say we just put a cover on it. Okay. That's my vote. Q1 hit, we ran the car the same we've been running it the whole Battle of the Thrones race. I just, we made a small change to fix the wheelie, turned the tune down a little bit from what we tried to do in the finals last night that didn't work, and it went right down Broadway. 109 to the short time, 279 to the middle, 416 out the back at 179. So it's just like clockwork. Got rained out. I'm not confident we'll have a real good racetrack even after the rain. So, and I don't think with current conditions that I can go any faster than a 16. We went 14 in eliminations yesterday. We need a nice, cool evening track with good air to do that. You know, we're so air limited in X275 that stuff like that starts to really matter for us. So I'm gonna leave it parked until E1 and hope that 416 sticks for #1 qualifier before the race starts.
Is there anything that'd make you take another qualifier?
I don't think so. Unless we get drastically different weather conditions between now and then to where I think that we won't have a racetrack where this tune that I have in the car would work, then I may take a swing at trying to figure out how to go a mid-20 or something. But not to try to out-qualify my position, but try to more so learn the racetrack as it changes with whatever this weather's about to do to it. They give us a good racetrack. I've got a winning race car as is, sitting under the cover, and I don't plan to touch it until E1.
But if we have a wet mess the rest of the week, you don't feel you have good data for a nasty track?
Right, and I don't even know if one qualifier, you know, making an attempt on a bad racetrack would do anything except put us the wrong direction. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hope and pray that by eliminations, whenever that may be in this week, that we have a good racetrack to work with and I can repeat this. Was to run Q1, you know, we were #1. I was gonna sit out #2 because of the weather and I wasn't confident we'd have a racetrack and I didn't really want to go up and mess the program up. So I was gonna sit out Q2, assuming we were gonna have a 3rd round qualifying or even a 4th round like we normally do at this race. When they put out the announcement that we were only gonna have 2 rounds and straight into E1 tomorrow, and the track is a totally different racetrack now after 3 days of insane rain and weather, you know, I needed to go take a swing at it. It was only going to be a 60-foot hit or a 330 hit, and Well, that didn't work out, so made a full pull. I was a little flustered on the start line. It rained up there while I was sitting in the car. We pushed up at the normal 100 degrees engine temp like we always do. You know, we're really striving for consistency. And why that's important is when the converter gets hotter and the fluid gets thinner, the converter gets looser. So everything frees up, and you know, we want it to be the same every time. So our goal when we leave the pits is for the car to be at 100 degrees. And I try to time it when I start the car to get the car back to 100 degrees when I pull into the water box. So it's the same temperature every time. Well, we sat there for, it felt like hours. I don't know how long I was sitting in that car, but a long time. Enough for my bottle heater to cycle 5 times off and on, to the point where like I was nervous my car was even gonna start because I was draining the battery so much on the bottle heater. Anyways, engine oil temp was cool, converter temp was cool. I pulled in, I started it as early as I possibly could. You wanna come in here, Rick? Hold my hand or something?
Come on, thick boy. Just stalk it.
So anyways, I started it as early as I could, and I wanted to pull the car up or start the car up earlier, but there's no indication for us when they're going to park the tractors. I started it as soon as they told me to put the helmet on, and you know, of course I already had mine on, I was sitting in there. But the car was cold, converter was cold. I floored it when I had the second bulb, or the other lane had the second bulb lit, and I didn't get enough RPM out of the car to cross the thresholds to turn the nitrous on that we used to spool. So I just sat there with the car like high idled. Even though I'm on the floor, the car wouldn't do anything. So I got all flustered, and I cut like a 190 light or something extremely embarrassing, but thank God, not eliminations, just qualifying. So it was still a 108.
Did you not have the normal boost?
I haven't pulled the log yet, but I don't think so.
How'd you pull off such a good 60 in ET?
There's a bunch of nitrous coming on off the button. And that's why I can't leave under boost. You know, if I hold it to the floor and let go of the trans brake with no boost, there's going to be some pop bangs and some metal flying apart that I don't have the ability to fix here. So it needs to be on boost before I let go of the button. So, you know, I saw the tree drop and like my arm twitched to let go of the button, and I paused for a second to make sure I could hear boost before I let go of that button.
All right, so
I'll take an Oreo and a beer.
What's the plan now for tomorrow? Where you sitting? You still sitting one, and
Yep.
you got a few cars to go.
Yeah, we're number 1 qualifier still. They ran half of X275. We're going to E1. I should have a bye. I don't have no idea what kind of racetrack we're going to have tomorrow in the sun after all this rain. Usually not a good one. So I'm hoping first round bye. I'm hoping they chill out for the afternoon and we race tomorrow night. And we have a nice racetrack to race on tomorrow night, and we can just hopefully work our way through the field. So
should you have a first round bye within it being a different track than you've probably seen all week, you're going to take a full hit and try to learn what you can off?
Probably not. We've had so many hits at it this week. If I've got a first round bye, I'll probably go up, put it on the brake, do the whole procedure, let go of the button, let it go 60 foot and shut it off and drive off. That way I don't have to pack parachutes. Transmission's not so hot, you know, potential breakage down track that, you know, I can't control unless I let off the gas, you know. So yeah, hopefully first round bye. Hopefully tomorrow we get to chill out for the afternoon and race tomorrow evening, because I do not want to race in the sun. It is my arch enemy. So our first run today was E1. We had a bye because we were number 1 qualifier, so we got a first round bye. I went up with a planned shutdown, went 017 on the tree, which is unusually quick for me. I'm usually in the 40s or 60s on a good day, and 111 to the 60, which is slow. So that tells me I bumped deep on the staging, which cuts your reaction time short and you're 60 foot long. So lay the data over from our previous passes. The car's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. at the 60 foot, even though we're a couple numbers slow. The drive shaft was like within 9 RPM of our best pass we made. Everything's in good shape. We're gonna wipe it down and be ready for E2. We've got Sean Lyons, local guy to me in North Florida, so good buddy of mine. That's supposed to be sometime tonight. I don't know if we're gonna get E3 off tonight. I'm assuming it's gonna be tomorrow. We've got a setup that really, really works. It went 416 first round qualifying. We had 2.5 days of pummeling rain after that. They completely tore down the racetrack, rebuilt it, all that stuff. We came back out, didn't touch the tune whatsoever when a 420. We were down a little bit on power. I know exactly why. We touched it up already and put it back to where it was. That's really what that was about this morning while we ran into E1 instead of just breaking the beams, just to make sure that the changes that I made are what needs to happen. So we've basically had 3 completely different racetracks in the 4 days we've been racing this race so far, and the car's done A to B every single time.
I also know you often plan maybe you have an opportunity just to take a 60-foot hit.
Yep.
And you often stay in it.
Sometimes, yeah.
So why were you a good boy this time?
It's really important. We're out of time to work on it. So, this car loves to spit parts out, loves to spit turbos, loves to spit drive shafts and all that stuff. I think we've got a grasp on all that, but I didn't want to learn the hard way, pun intended. Right before E2, we've actually got to race somebody. So we clicked off the 60 foot, made sure we had a hold of the racetrack, this version of the racetrack, ready to go to E2 now, so for a full pull.
All right, so E2, any changes or you're working?
We're gonna wipe it down,
Get it?
put fuel in it, and go racing. So we had Sean Lyons, local buddy of mine. No, he went a 44, said he was riding wheelie control. He went 19 on the tree, I went 25, which is pretty spicy for me. Car did what it's supposed to do. Going the next round, so let's see, we started with 23. This is the quarterfinals, I believe, next. It's gonna take a high teen or a bottom 20 to win this race, and that's where the car's set. I ain't touching it. Just gotta keep doing my job, so. He's fun. I let go of the button and I was like, Bob! 108 flat, 279, 418. It's like a copy machine, just keeps spinning out the same tickets. So we just wrapped up quarterfinals, raced our buddy Mark Meering in the nice blue Mustang mod motor car. He went 85 on the tree, I went 44 on the tree. He spun, I did not know that. I went 108, 279, 418, and then was just down in the top end of the track all by myself, wondering where the hell Mark was at. Apparently, Rick yelling in my ear on the radio was Rick telling me that he spun so I could, maybe let off the gas or whatever, but I heard noise in my ear and I wasn't letting off the throttle till the wind light came on, so. We're on to the next round. I didn't even pull a data log on the car. Testing tune's over, so we're here to race. We've got 2 more rounds.
Comparing all your runs you've had this week,
Oh yeah, I mean,
I don't think I've ever seen you be so.
there's been a few, yeah. So we just finally really got our groove. The biggest wild card right now is the driver, is me, trying to go, hit the tree hard, because, you can't give these guys a fraction of an inch or they'll take it from you, so the car's doing exactly what it needs to do. We've been from a 16 to a 21. I think it's gone A to B the last 10 times I've let go of the button. I mean, we got a race in the sun tomorrow, but earlier today in the first round by, we hit the left lane in the sun on purpose, because I prefer the right lane. The left lane was the least preferred lane of the race that day. Everybody wanted right, so I took the lane that nobody wanted. I took it in the sun. The car went, 109 or 111, 60 foot, whatever it was. I'm very confident we've got the car to beat as long as I can do my job. So Gary Underwood's going to the finals. He's got to bye next round, and it's me and Marquise Hatton left. So the winner of me and Marquise will race Gary in the finals.
Both of those cars have ran 22s.
I win a 418 against those guys going 422. That's not enough to make me feel comfortable. So yeah, there's no relaxing in this camp tonight. We gotta fight our way to the end. So. So we had Marquise Hatton, Jason Hickel owned Hot Rod out of Panama City, another one of my buddies. 2 yellow Panama City cars I've had to race back to back. Went 45 on the tree to my 59. My 59 is a lot more realistic. I think I staged a little more shallow this time, so the reaction time was more correct. We got a right lane, we got a win. Car went 107, 417, 176. Basically printed out the exact same ticket as last night. I just staged a little shallower, so the time I left from the 60-foot clock was a little different. Left lane spun, going to the finals again, so pretty cool. So we'll see if we can seal the deal this time. We got Grady Underwood. He's heavily contested with a recent turbo change, put him under weight, bunch of hubbub about why you got disqualified in the first round. He's been struggling. He last round he just did wasn't the best for him either, so we've got the car to beat. I just got to do my job one more time, and I think we can park this thing in the winner's circle.
Right.
Good deal.
On the 3 A to B is on a whole shot.
Long term to third, baby.
On a whole shot.
Oh, yeah. Finally.
Dude, same thing.
On the 3 A to B on a whole shot.
Print tickets this weekend.
I'm getting that shit written on a shirt. On the 3 A to B.
That's it.
Oh,
Fighting 49 for he went at 16 and he still lost.
Frame it. I like it. I'll take it. Sealed the deal finally. So been racing these races since 2017. I've come to every single one of Donald Long's races. Been following the Radio Outlaw series. We finally parked it in the winner's circle as the winners this time. So I did not have the faster car that round, but we had the faster reaction time. So margin of victory was 5 thousandths at the stripe. Like old dude at the end of the track, his Mustang was like right here on my car. So I mean, I went 49. It wasn't that fast. Like I said earlier, that's my comfort zone in that 40 to 50 range. He went at 94. I went 420 at 178, like the car's been doing just over and over again. Third round Olympic, fourth, the semifinals, whatever the hell round that was. We went a 17.8. Changed absolutely nothing about the car. When we went up the second time, it wasn't as cool as it was when we went for the first round, and the weather warmed up a little bit. So we went a 420, but the car did everything it's supposed to do. Driver did his job finally. Rick told me if I didn't turn a wind light on, I had to walk home. I didn't really want to do that, so he said he was going to leave me on the top end, pack up, and leave without me. So Hardway Racing to the front. Appreciate everybody's support. Still runs. I drove it back from the winner's circle. Yeah, and we're powered by science. I don't have the shirt on today, but I did the other day. So
I've come down here a lot with you. I've seen a lot on the struggle bus over the years.
yeah, I'm all too familiar with the struggle bus.
And, but we've had highs and lows. Like we've had spots of highs, and then those highs keep adding up. This week you were consistent the entire time. Like,
so you get
what it takes to
you get
win?
a personal. You figure something out. You get a personal best. You go personal best 60. You know, it's still not fast enough. You just keep working and working and working. Eventually, it's 7, 8 years later, you get all those things put together in one package, and it finally works. So we got a race in a month in Orlando. It's double points. I believe we're sitting firmly second in points right now nationally. So we are going for the National Points Championship this year. Double points next race. So we need to go patch this thing up, find out where our mile an hour went, maybe change the oil, adjust the valves or something. I know, to make Chase Fleece happy, and see if we can do it again.
I know you've said in the past you don't think a big thing about the diesel. It's just your choice of engine.
Yep.
There's some other stuff out here, like there's 2JZ out here. There's some other interesting combinations. But that all said, a diesel has never won a major event like this before.
Never.
Now looking back on it, you banging your head against the wall, you being the dummy out here with the diesel for so long.
The diesel dummies, as
what's it
Derek
mean
says?
to put a diesel in the winner's circle?
I mean, it's a dream come true for me. I mean, there is no recipe book for this. There's no, you know, everybody on planet Earth that drag races has an LS and a Fox body. You know, no offense to my buddies out there, my million buddies that have LSs and Fox bodies, but like you can go to 7-Eleven and buy parts for those things. You can buy cookbooks on the internet of exactly how to do X, Y, and Z. So we had to figure everything out.
The hard way.
The hard way, pun intended. So that's the fun part. It's like a puzzle to me. So if it was easy, I'd be bored and I'd go find something else to do.
All right, so next up, Orlando. We're going to finish off the season.
Yep, Orlando. I think it's right at a month from now. It's double points, so it's anyone's race. I mean, we're second in points, but I believe last year a guy came from third or fourth and won the championship because the race is double points. So this race should be worth about 150 points for me, 140 maybe. #1 qualifier and all that stuff. So race prior was worth 120 for going all the way to the finals. #1 qualifier, and then we get to drop our worst race. So I'll drop my Bradenton race where I qualified like ass and went out first round. So that was like 12 points. So we'll drop that one, and then they get I believe 15 bonus points for going to all the races. So we'll see. We're gonna show up and be in business, and we're just gonna do the same thing over again. We'll see. So hope we brought enough.